So spooky goings on at Apartment 143, which is a found footage horror film, and Pauline Hill, give us a brief plot synopsis.
So what there was of it. So yeah, it's basically a family, father, daughter and a little son move into this apartment block where when we start out, it's these paranormal investigators setting up the flat with lots of cameras, equipment and everything to investigate, and as we get into it we find out that there are strange goings on, strange noises, things happening inside their apartment. And we also find out that actually this had gone on at their previous house and they'd moved into. So paranormal investigators are setting up and trying to help the family kind of figure out exactly what is happening and why all these things are occurring, really.
So this is clearly a very low budget movie, and I think they've done a fairly good job with obviously the small budget they have, because it's obviously a very sort of all located in one place basically. What did you like about this movie?
I thought personally myself, and this is not like what I like, but I found it quite slow. But when they got to there's a scene kind of similar to a seance scene, but maybe not quite. I quite like that part with a girl who ends up projecting these voices. I actually thought that was quite good. It looked quite good.
Yeah.
Other than that,
what didn't you like then?
Pretty much the whole film.
Yeah.
Not much I liked about it. What didn't I like? I don't know. I found it really slow. I felt also as when you started to get through it, and towards the end when they actually start to explain a lot of things, I still felt like they weren't very clear, didn't really explain it properly. It was kind of left to your own kind of guesswork.
I actually think a little bit different from you with this film. I'm going to disagree with you here. I actually thought it was a fairly good pace, because it happens with a lot of these kind of found footage films. You get halfway through the film with nothing happening. The first half of the film is always sort of character building. But with this film, I think you start hearing, it's mainly sort of audio-based sort of stuff initially, but it happens within the first 10 minutes. You'll get stuff starting within the first 10 minutes. So I actually quite like the fact that, it happens quite quickly. There's clearly something going on. Like I said, the budget is relatively small, so this is not going to be an effect-driven film, more of a kind of an atmosphere type film. And basically, the focus is between these three kind of paranormal investigators and this family of three: the dad, the sort of teenage daughter, and the kind of the young kid. The young kid is adorable, by the way, I have to say, extremely cute little kid. What I liked about it, like I said, I actually thought it did a good job of kind of establishing that there was clearly something going on, rather than having these ones where you question, is it the pipes or something like that. There's clearly something going on. I understand what you mean about the scientific explanation sometimes that is given, because they clearly get a lot of paranormal stuff on camera, and there's a point about halfway through the film where they get an image of something, and it's kind of not really discussed, which is I don't understand. It's
like brushed under the carpet, really.
Why essentially a mild spoiler here. It's they don't believe the house is haunted. They believe it's kind of another sort of type of paranormal phenomena caused by potentially mental issues. But I don't know. There seems to be so much going on. It seems a little bit. I don't know why you would kind of say that. Yeah. And then immediately after they kind of said that they have a spirit medium and stuff like. Well, if you don't think it's ghost, then why is there a spirit medium there? Mm-hmm. So there was a little bit of confusion about what it actually was. Just a little nitpick from me as well. This being a found footage film, I found the scientists kind of having to sort of explain what all the equipment was to exposition. So, and there's this 4-year-old kid, and they're kind of explaining all this kind of scientific equipment to this 4-year-old kid who's clearly not going to have a clue. Yep. But it's for our benefit as the audience, and it's a bit like that's clearly exposition meant for the audience. I didn't think the acting was bad, though. I thought the acting was okay. I think one thing I liked about it as well is it kind of leads you down the kind of the garden path in regards to the kind of the motivations and the kind of what you may initially think of some characters. You know, kind of may change as the sort of film progresses. So I thought it does a reasonable job of kind of leading you one way, then kind of taking a turn. So you may sort of change your mind with certain characters about how you feel about them, without kind of going into kind of any sort of spoilers here. So I actually thought it was okay. I actually thought this was probably, considering the budget and stuff, I actually thought it was kind of an all right of low budget found footage film. Would you give it out of 10?
2.
Really, that bad?
Yep.
Fair enough. Okay, I'm actually going to give this one the 6. So this is a bit of a divisive opinion on this one. I actually quite enjoyed this movie, and I personally thought it was maybe not the best explained movie, but it was still a fairly competently made movie for a found footage film, which it can be very hit and miss in my opinion. So a bit of a divisive opinion on this one. So have you seen it? Where do you fall with Pauline or myself? Leave us a comment, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.